Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Banks. Tuesday, I'm back in the saddle with my boy AI. What's cracking, bro?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
How you feeling?
I am feeling I'm feeling a lot of gratitude.
Yeah, bro. You had
I'm feeling-
a big week,
Yeah.
bro. You had a big week. You started strong over there with Beyond the Stage. Now at Urban Artifact, bro. How did that
Yeah.
go?
It was an incredible experience, like from start to finish. Everyone over there at Radio Artifact are just magicians in what they do, and
So I've been told, or so I've heard.
man, I just huge shout out to Devin and Andrew and the whole staff there at the team, the crew. Like they were so on point with every camera angle change when it needed to be done. They did it like the timing was perfect. The show was like flawless from start to finish with our timing. Everything just felt so in sync. And then the conversation with Charlie John and Jordan Frank, shout out to those guys. We've had Jordan Frank on the podcast, so he sat on the couch across from here.
Auntie Angie, what's going on? Sorry.
Yeah. Instagram, we're live. What's up?
Yeah.
But it was just an incredible experience, top to bottom, and I just so many positive things happened from that event. I can't wait for the next, which is on March 14th. Pi Day 314 will be the next event we do at Radio Artifact.
All right. Who do you got? Have you announced it yet?
Not announcing it just yet.
Okay.
We kind of do it. We offer out who we want to interview, and if the dates align, and we were kind of waiting on one artist, and once that's locked in, then we can announce and go from there. But we're just waiting on them. This is a fluid booking thing. It's not necessarily we're booking a year out, because when artists might become, hot at that time, and it's time to let's interview what's happening, because you're about to launch into maybe the national stratosphere, which some of our artists that we've interviewed, like they're there. They're at the tipping point, if for lack of better words, like they are there as artistry and on the business end.
Right.
So we'd like to get to know what they're doing beyond the stage. And it's been a great time. We did 15 events at Madison Live. Now we're at Radio Artifact in addition to Madison Live, but we will be doing Beyond the Stage Live continued. So we'll be announcing those as we happen to go. But we announced Beyond the Stage Sports, Beyond the Stage Foodies, Beyond the Stage Business, all at that Beyond the Stage Sessions event. So all of those are now out into the universe, and we're going to start doing interviews.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Instagram, I apologize. I don't know what's happening again. Our internet is working fine, but once again, the computer is running slow, so I'm guessing I've got to dump more files over to the external hard drive. So if you guys are tuning in on Instagram, I apologize. You guys can hear us completely, but the video looks a little sketchy. So, but I do want to talk about this Yes Chef project, man, while the people are tuning in, because this is something that is happening everywhere. Not just Newport, not just Bellevue, not just Dayton, not just downtown. There's local restaurants that are closing up. It almost seems like daily. It seems like every day I wake up and hop on my phone, there's another restaurant that's closing, and 9 times out of 10, like, everybody says, "Damn, I wish I would have known they were closing, because I would have been there to support them." You know what I mean? And no restaurant wants to put out the SOS saying, "Hey, you guys have to come here before the 31st, or we're gonna shut our doors." The cost of everything is kind of rising for everybody, so people aren't going out to eat as much, and it's really affecting the bottom line of the local restaurants. So we wanted to start something called the Yes Chef Project, which us being clothing designers and being able to create the merch and print it. We're actually going to be teaming up with, hopefully, national screen printers. So Josh Corral with that, so we can create a tour shirt for each city. So we'll set one up for Newport, Kentucky, where the front of it will have the Yes Chef logo, and then the back of it will be a tour shirt of all the participating restaurants with their discount on the back of the shirt. So here's the trick: if you guys want to be a part of it, if you own a restaurant, or if you have a friend that owns a restaurant, and if you want them to be a part of it, whether you're in Bellevue, Dayton, Kentucky, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, Covington, Cincinnati, we're going to be breaking it down to cities, and then each city will have their own shirt that you can purchase from those restaurants. So what we're trying to do is create the product for each city individually. So the best way to explain it, say Newport, for instance. There's about 22 restaurants, locally owned restaurants here in Newport. So what we want to do is be able to cover the cost of the printing of the shirts, and then just give those shirts to the restaurants themselves. So if there's 22 restaurants, we have 500 shirts divided up, 25 shirts each or whatever it is. And then when they sell those shirts for $30 each, they get to keep that money completely. And then everybody on the back of that shirt is going to have access to those discounts. So if you buy the shirt at, say, Bourbon House Pizzeria for $30, you'll be able to use that shirt anywhere that has the names of the restaurants on the back. So if you buy it from Bourbon House, you can go over to Newport Pizza and get their discount. But you have to be wearing the shirt. That's the trick. That's what we're trying to get the point across. Is getting to the point where it's a like a, if you know what I mean, like, hey,
Exactly.
how do I get that discount?
If
And
you know. That's I love that.
Yeah.
It's kind of it kind of runs in the same vein here at the store.
Mm-hmm.
If you know about the lab, and people be walking through, and others who have been to the store before will see someone else go into the lab. They're like, I've been here before, and how do I not know? How do they know so normally?
Right.
Like, kind of a thing. Like, how did they just walk right up to that 7-Up machine and it just opened? And I've been in the store multiple times and didn't know about that. So there's a little confusion because we don't actively show people unless kind of the conversation comes up. But you can, mingle in the store and not actually know about the lab.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So with this, same thing. If you know, especially if you walk into a Bourbon House and you're like, hey, they have these shirts listed here, and you see a familiar place that you actually attend on the regular, you're like, hey, what are they doing on there?
Right.
And all of a sudden, you want to get that shirt, not because you were at Bourbon House, but because you saw maybe your friends are a part of it or something like that, and you didn't know about the shirt. So, like,
Right.
it's promoting everybody, externally and internally at the same time. I think it's pretty much going to be, if it was up to me, if I was a business owner, I would want my name on the back of any shirt in any community, because that means my name is coming out of their mouth. You know
For
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing, man, is we don't want to take any money from these restaurants. We want to put money into their pockets.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the one thing that we're asking is either like a $50 gift card or a $100 gift card, something that just is like a handshake agreement. So later on down the road, if a restaurant's like, hey, why wasn't I on the shirt? It's, each restaurant had to donate a $100 gift card. And what we're doing with those gift cards is we're going to promote it maybe every Tuesday on the podcast. We'll give away a $50 gift card to a local restaurant. We'll do giveaways. We'll do scavenger hunts. We'll do cool things to help get people back into those restaurants that need their help. And the best part about it, man, is the teamwork, right? So, if we're able to print 500 shirts for Newport, and as long as the shirts are covered, as long as the cost of the shirts are covered, I'm dropping the tees off to every restaurant that participated, right? And then here's the thing: if we leave an even amount of shirts across the board, 25 for each restaurant, once Bourbon House sells out of their shirts, they can send people to Newport Pizza, or they can send them to Sis's, or they can send them to La Mexicana. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can still get the discount for Bourbon House,
Yeah.
but you just got to go to La Mexicana to purchase the shirt. And and you'll get the discounts to every store in Newport, every restaurant in Newport, and then that way, it's not an off kilter where Bourbon House is selling 500 shirts and La Mexicana's only sold 3, so La Mexicana's only made $90 when Bourbon House has made thousands. Like, I'd like to try to keep it even where it's fair across the board, where each restaurant and 25 shirts isn't going to be the end of it. What we want to do this in levels. So as soon as the entire thing is gone and all the restaurants have sold their shirts, then we'll re-up and do it again. But not just for Newport. Like, we want to do this for every city, for Ludlow, for breaking it down in Cincinnati, where it's not just Cincinnati, it's OTR, it's Price Hill. There's a lot of different things that we can do that it's going to get the point across, and it's going to help people navigate back to those restaurants, right? And once you're in those restaurants, the back of the shirt is going to say, Bourbon House maybe 10% off, or Bourbon House free, garlic knots, something like that, whatever they want to offer, right? But the trick is going into the restaurant, seeing somebody wear the shirt and go, how do I get that discount? How do I get that? Well, you got to buy the shirt and wear it. You know what I mean? So I really think it's a great way for exposure on a lot of on a local level.
I totally agree.
And then to because even though like we're from Dayton, like obviously I'm Dayton, I would purchase the Dayton shirt 100% because I frequent those restaurants. But that's not the only shirt. I'm not going to buy it just because I live there. Like, I'm going to buy Bellevue's. I'm going to end up buying Newports. I'm going to end up buying Covington's. Like, OTR, if there's a restaurant in there that's got a good discount that I want, like, I'm going to end up purchasing these shirts from multiple places and making sure that, hey, I've got this shirt for Thursday when I go down to Brothers at Newport, because I'm going to get that, that special discount that I only get if I'm wearing this T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to even put, like you said, a special item that only the people with the shirts are going to get. So, like, they might get a discount and, like, this specific appetizer for the month of whatever.
Yeah.
So
free dessert with entree, like something like they're, we want it to be across the board. We don't want everybody just saying, hey, 10% off. We want fun things in there, whether it's a buy one, get one, half off or whatever, like just make it spicy and enticing. And I really think that this is something that can catch on and go national. I feel like, you know what I mean? But the only thing is like, I don't want to put too much on our plate. So it's like, as long as the shirts are covered with the printing, like, I don't want to deal with any sales outside of that. Like, I just want to be able to have the price of the shirts covered, and then drop them off to every restaurant that participated, and just say every dollar that you make off of these tees, you keep. You don't even have to call. Don't even call me until you're sold out of shirts. You know what I mean? Like, the less work we have to do, I think the cleaner it's going to be. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, I don't want transactions where, oh, well, every shirt will give you $7, because that just gets messy. Like, let's just, hopefully we'll be able to get on the news for something like this once we have it all set up, and we've got, all the restaurants that are going to be participating, and then we can get some pre-sales in that just covers the cost of the shirts, where, once we get the shirts, we just give them away. You know what I mean? And obviously, for us, like, there's two things. One, getting the community involved, and getting people back into those restaurants. We're not looking for any money. We're not looking for any notoriety, but obviously, doing something like this, we always want like a little like one up. So at the bottom of the shirt, along with all the discounts that you're going to get from the restaurants, we're going to offer a discount for Native as well on those tees.
Yeah.
And that's going to be our little way of recouping the time and effort that we're doing, because I have a feeling this is going to be, if we're looking at each city around the tri-state area, it's going to end up being like like 400 to 500 shirts per city. So you're looking at probably 10 to 20,000 shirts that we're going to have to get printed and distributed. So the less legwork that we can do, and just keep it all just and as one conglomerate, where once it goes out, like, then our hands are washed. Yeah. It's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be tricky. It's not gonna be the easiest thing on the planet, but it's something that it needs to happen. And if it doesn't work the way that we want it to, at least it's gonna have some sort of effect, because it's too good not to do. It's the Buddy LaRosa's card of T-shirts. You know what I mean? Like
Buddy LaRosa, yeah. But I was gonna say, like, the passport. Kind of the passport idea.
Yeah, the restaurant passport, bro. Yeah. That's not a bad idea. Call it that.
Yeah, the restaurant passport.
The local passport.
Local, yeah, something like that. It's just very. It's like very inclusive and creates community with restaurants that may not even communicate with each other or be on each other's radar per se. They're just in the community, and all of a sudden they're on the same T-shirt all together. Business owners might start connecting with it too. You know what I mean? There's just so much that can actually happen because of just the shirt, and like it's gonna be a cool design. It's gonna be something people want to wear. So it's definitely gonna be one of those things that you're gonna like. Hey, let's get that shirt. Like, two of my homies are on here. Like, it's crazy to think this idea hasn't been something that we've
done before. Yeah. And that's the thing, man. It's like, if there's one restaurant that you love to go to, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna buy that shirt for that one restaurant, but then you're gonna have another 19 restaurants that you're gonna be able to try out and get a little spiff of a discount because you're participating in the Yes Chef project. I love it, bro. I love it. And the name is it's like the chef's kiss, bro. The Yes Chef project, because we're in it, bro.
Yeah, I got some ideas that some companies and restaurants I think would really.
Quasar in the building.
Hey, shout out Quasar. Man,
yeah, bro.
He's killing it, dude. He's just straight. Everything he does, I stay high alert to. But huge shout out to Quasar. He was my very first art vendor for Beyond the Stage, as I wear this Beyond the Stage merch. But he's just such a incredible talent out there, and he's the personality and the just his energy goes with it. It's incredible. And dude, his art. I mean, every time I go on my timeline, if I go on my multimedia one, dude, he's the first thing that pops up, and it's always so bright, so colorful.
And it's getting better weekly,
and it's
bro.
Getting better every single post.
Crazy.
And he deserves everything that's coming his way. So huge shout out Quasar for sure. That Mega Man design, still my favorite.
Dude, he crushed the toy pit, dude. Like he's gonna make that place so much money.
Oh yeah.
Because the inside is incredible. Like that place is a warehouse of toys, and it's like all vintage toys, all the cool stuff that you can see. But you got to get people to walk up to the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to get people in the door to actually see what you guys have, and they crushed it, dude. I know Quasar told me that I think they hired like 3 or 4 artists that they were going to do, but after Quasar got involved, they were like, you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Whole thing.
Yeah. I wonder if you ever followed up with Edgar and James, because Edgar, he was talking to the running back that played for the Indianapolis Colts. I think he was going to do some art for him.
I'm sure he's keeping up with that.
He got to do that because that's Edgar and James. I mean, come on now. But yeah, dude, he kills a game for sure. But on the note of sports, because I said Colts, and I'm thinking football.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking the same thing.
We got those Super Bowl squares, bro. We should talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, so, all right, everybody. Super Bowl squares right here. Check it out. This is, what do we have? We got about 25 names on there, I think. They're $10 a square. And the first quarter, you get a $50 gift card to Native. The second quarter, you get an autographed hat, a Native hat. Wait, it's autographed by 14 Bengals players, 12. It's over a dozen. So you got a Bengals hat autographed by over a dozen Bengals players. The third quarter, you get a $100 gift card. And then the fourth quarter, the end game, you get an autographed Bengals football by, I think there's 19 autographs on it. Chase Brown, Andre Yoshivas, Joe Mixon, Travion, Evan McPherson. Who else is on there? Joseph Osai, Jermaine Burton.
Yeah.
So, and the funny thing about Jermaine's autograph is it's not on. Well, he did sign the ball too, right?
Yeah.
So they,
I stopped him.
And Andrew made him re-sign it because he signed the packaging.
Yeah.
Which is like out of any Bengals player to do that, like
Jermaine Burton.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's
chased,
on key.
well, he came to the store, so like they got done with the Bengals Now event. They got done with the Bengals Now event, and they came in and they were just checking it out, and we were having a good time. They were vibing, and I looked at the box. I looked at the football because we got the football, the skateboard, and the hats. Because I set them into a back room where we can get a private autograph and everything like that. So I went and he got them, and I looked at the box and I see at the very top. I'm like, I mean, that checks out. His number checks out. Yeah. And I was like, I wonder if I can find it on the ball though. Let's look here. And I started looking, and I don't see the same autograph. I was like, okay, nowhere on the ball is the same autograph. And I'm like, I'm so glad they went into the store.
Yeah.
So I went back, whatever. Because I went back and I came into the store. Then they came in because they trailed me about like 15 minutes. Because, I mean, after they're done with this event, people are crowding around these Bengals players.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, it's craziness. So they waited till everyone left. Then they snuck at Josh's, and then they came over. So that was how they moved, because they have to move that way, which is wild that that's our reaction to professional athletes. You know? So they get over here, and I'm like, hey, man, I don't want to like be like, could you sign the ball? Like, the packaging might get thrown away, like, for real. And he's like, oh, man, my bad, homie. Like, I got you for sure. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, yeah, cool. He's like, I just grabbed the top. I'm like, oh, no, you're good. It probably looked like a free space to sign. He probably didn't even look too deep into it. Because there's, like, 10 items that are just all over this table.
Oh, yeah.
Quick signatures kind of a thing. But, yeah, so he signs the ball. He took photos in the lab. We had a good conversation.
He ended up posting that photo too and tagged SpaceX.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He took a picture of the astronaut, the lab logo, and the whole desk over there, and then just tagged SpaceX.
That's cool.
Yeah. Bro. We didn't even talk. Like, I haven't even got your opinion on this Luka Doncic thing, man.
Oh. Yeah.
So for everybody that doesn't know, Luka was just traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the LA Lakers for Anthony Davis and a first-round pick.
Yeah, in 2029.
Yeah, in 2029. That's crazy.
Yep.
And there's conspiracy theories flying everywhere about this trade right now.
Okay, what's one?
Like, have you heard anything about it?
I've heard a little bit about the conspiracy theories. I have my own ideas, and then I've heard some really good ones. So I'm excited that you brought this up, because I wasn't sure we were going to talk about this, because obviously it's a big deal, but so many.
It's the biggest deal in sports, bro.
It
like,
is.
This is like
this is the deal. This is the deal. I mean, Super Bowl has been overshadowed point blank right now.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah. I think so too.
I think this is an on purpose thing, because they are not wanting Chiefs slander, and they're getting a lot of it. So this is okay. What do you want to go? I'm not going to relate to NFL. It's also NBA conspiracy, and I can.
It gets like the rabbit hole I went down got pretty dark, bro. It got pretty dark for real. Like, it was.
Talk.
So for one conspiracy is he drinks too much.
Yes.
Right, and that's probably the one that you heard, or the one that you saw, is like, he's got an alcohol problem. He's 25 years old, and they're worried about his weight, right? Because he keeps gaining weight, but he's dropping buckets, bro. Like he's still putting up 30, 40 points a game easily.
Yeah, no, he's
but
his prime,
but
before
then,
his prime.
But then
actually.
you start seeing these videos of him just having a beer out on the patio, and at a restaurant, and the Mavericks having to like buffer it. Where they were like, that wasn't yesterday. That photo was from a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then right after the conference championship, he's got a beer in his hand with his dad.
With his dad, yeah.
With his dad, and then I can't remember the guy's name, but he comes up and just grabs the beer right out of his hand and just walks by, like doesn't lean in his ear and say, "Hey, now's not the time."
He just takes
nothing,
it,
just takes it and walks away. And the way that he's looking is like he just got confiscated at a house party.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, what just happened?
So, do you think that they are trying to avoid future?
No, it gets the rabbit hole I went down doesn't even talk about the alcohol, bro.
Okay, then what's your next? I've got deeper as well. Go.
So I'm gonna butcher it unless I actually look it up. But apparently the Dallas Mavericks, since Mark Cuban sold his majority share to that other family, they want to turn the Dallas whatever their stadium is, they want to turn it into a casino resort. Okay, so you can gamble there and watch the games, the whole nine. And the city of Dallas doesn't want them to do it. So they want to go to Austin, Texas. They want to bring the Dallas Mavericks to Austin.
Okay.
And they having a franchise player like Luka, no one's ever going to want you to leave the city, right?
Right.
So this trade is like, even Danny Ainge was like, I didn't know anything about the trade up until like 30 minutes before, and it was like the worst trade of all time. Like none of the math is mathing.
Yeah.
Unless you look back at what the Dallas Mavericks are wanting to do. They're trying to tank the team to move the team to Austin, Texas, so that they can get this whole complex where it's a casino, resort, gambling, basketball, and like the only way to make that happen was to basically plummet their team that they have now,
and hype the Lakers up,
and give the Lakers a legit dynasty, dude.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
the like you see the players on the court during the game, like somebody in the crowd is like, Luka got traded, and all of a sudden they're all looking around, they're grabbing their phones, and they're just like, what? Like everybody is like, that. What is going on? This makes no sense.
And I think there's even further into this same thing. What if, now hear me out, what if they did this trade, like you say, like that could be the angle which they're going to move it, but what if their goal is to have enough money to not have to pay Luka, because he was going to have the Supermax coming up, which is like 100, some odd million. Then LeBron James might be able to go and play with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis in Dallas, leave like maybe like next year, because his contract he'll be good to go. He'll leave and be able to go play with those two in AD's prime, and that'll be that. Luka's going to go to LA, and he's going to be a star in LA. But I think LeBron James, because he might be leaving eventually. They're talking about LeBron may not be stay with LA for much longer, so he could jump ship, play with Kyrie again, and do this exactly what you want. I think this plan is a billionaire's plan. This was so far above general managers, players.
Yeah.
This was the billionaires making a decision, and they're like, it may be the worst trade of all time, but it's a money being shifted. And if LeBron's a part of every conversation, I don't care what you're talking about, because okay, let's just think about what happened. they traded away their center for a player in a position that already have. LeBron is all. Luka's LeBron, quite literally. So why would you need two LeBrons? You don't.
Were they power forwards?
Yeah, they play with exactly the same way. they're gonna assist each other until they run out of assists. Like it's just gonna be that's all they do is assist and score, assist and score. Both those guys, they feed and they're point guards and they're the scorers. Luka doesn't play defense. That's his downside. Like you said, he drinks too much. Yada yada. He doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
He's a hole in the defense. AD is one of the best defenders. I don't know, but I think it's a billionaire's move.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. I think it's a billionaire's move. I really do. I think this was a money move. I think LeBron might be on the move, so this was a way to make LA be set for 10 years so they don't fall off, because LA's always had a superstar.
Oh,
They've
for sure.
always had
Since
a superstar.
the 70s, yeah.
They've never not had a superstar. There's teams that have done really well without a superstar. LA is always.
Well,
had one.
that's LA's MO, right? Like it's been that way since fucking Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? Like once they got Magic, and they brought. Did you ever watch that HBO show Winning Times? It's fucking great, bro. It's great. It's John C. Reilly as the owner of the Lakers, and it's got who's the face of the NBA logo?
Jerry West.
Yeah, so Jerry West is in there. Apparently, Jerry West was like an asshole to everybody, and so when they made the show Winning Times, like Jerry West was not about it because he was like, "Why are you guys portraying me as a prick?" And they were like, "Dude, were you there? Like you were a dick to everybody."
Are you watching the same show we're watching?
Yeah. But that show was incredible, bro, because they were basically had a franchise that was plummeting and they didn't know what to do. And then the owner, like, he loved strippers, and he had like this whole like binder of just like photography, like fucking like actual photos that you print out at Walgreens of like naked girls and like women in skimpy outfits, and his daughter was the one that was like, "You like all this, why don't you put this into the Lakers?" Then they got the Laker girls, so that's how they started that. And then daughter also said, "Look, there's nobody sitting on the floor. Like at the time it was just seating." He's like, why don't we put 2 rows of seats on the floor and give them away to celebrities?" So that's how they got the Jack Nicholsons and all that shit. And it changed everything about the game. And then all of a sudden the Lakers are now this, which it's a no-brainer, right? Because LA is full of celebrities and people that can pay $1,000 for a seat, no problem. You know what I mean? So it's like, why wouldn't you do something like that and entertain these people?
Yeah, and they always have a superstar, which they just gained one for a bag of potato chips.
Literally, bro. Like it's like
a bag of, not saying expired potato chips, because AD does have some legs left in him. He is injury prone. You never know. Luka is injured right now, but he's 25.
25, bro.
He is not even in his prime yet.
And that's something else they were saying was with technology and all this, like probably the same stuff that Lepardi is a part of.
Oh yeah.
They're like
AI technology.
In 5 years, Luka's going to be able to play till he's 45.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of all the technology and shit that's going on. So they're looking at longevity on never getting rid of him. But when you hear Mark Cuban talk about Luka and how they asked him, like, if it was between getting a divorce or losing Luka, like, who are you choosing? And Mark was like, "You'll see me at the courthouse." Like I would get a divorce over losing Luka.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of NBA? Do you watch Luka very often? Have you seen how he plays basketball?
Yeah. Like his shots always. It's kind of always baffled me, bro, because he's got like this Bill Cartwright like over the head shot, but it's you can't block it, bro. You know what I mean? Like when you're shooting from fucking back here and you're just letting it go, like you can't block it.
Yeah,
You got that Bill Cartwright shit.
And he's very like. He's very it's Jackie. I have a meeting with her this week.
And that's her husband.
Yeah, she's married.
Oh, dope, dude.
That's super cool. Yeah. Congratulations, Jackie. You're walking away.
I haven't had a chance to meet her husband yet. That's cool.
Yeah, he's come to the store a couple times.
He's a good-looking dude.
She is married. That is wild. Yeah, we got a Beyond the Stage meeting and stuff to just because she's one of the sponsors. So
yeah, for sure.
She's awesome. Her sponsorship is greatly appreciated. She definitely helps see the vision, and we're gonna make a video for her. So
yeah,
excited about it. But back to the NBA. So first off, Luka is generational talent and beyond. He is European play. He's positionless, and he's a solid build. He may not be the most athletic, and his defense is
I would take
baseline 0.
I would take
pretty much because he's
I would take somebody like Luka over somebody who's athletic, bro, for real.
Sure. Luka gets between the cracks, scores every single possession from anywhere on the court, and not only that, he makes plays every single time. You have to account for if the ball's in his hands, you have to D on him, and you have to look at the surrounding, and then it opens up the middle because he's so lethal on that court. So because he is what he is, the fact that the Mavericks would ever think about trading him is gonna push us to the conspiracy theories, because why get rid of that generational talent? You find one of those one every 20 years. I mean, he's like LeBron, like with a little less on the defensive side. Well, a lot less on the defensive side. Let's be real. But yeah, you're definitely. I can't believe they would do that. It's just like you're not even seeing. I don't even know what side of the coin would make sense. AD, yeah, you're playing short term. Yeah, you might get defensively improved, obviously. Is it good enough for a ring this year? Is it good enough even for a conference championship? I don't even know. I don't know. I would take the Nuggets. Take the Nuggets.
Thin air as to why the Dallas Mavericks would trade their 25-year-old face of the franchise, international superstar, without consulting him out of nowhere. I'm just telling you that this has been on public display for the last 2+ seasons, dating back to the 2022 Western Conference Finals Game 1, the viral image of Luka Doncic drinking beer on the patio at the restaurant.
No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Let me see. All of these videos, bro, like you just type in Luka and it's all these memes of just people that are just like, man, I knew I should have saved it, bro.
Dude, Anthony Davis is shook too.
Yeah, he didn't look happy at all, bro. Like he didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, he said, and I quote from SportsCenter, ESPN, "I was shocked. I was actually at home about to watch a movie with my wife and got the phone call. I had no idea. Now I'm kind of over it and just getting ready to play with Dallas." He was just at home, big chilling, you know?
And that's something that I wanted to ask you with you're saying LeBron might end up going to Dallas. Like how old's LeBron? 37, 38?
40.
He's 40. Would you want to spend your last year or two in Dallas, or would you rather spend like your roots, right? Like that's at 40 when you've only got 1 or 2 years left on your contract. Like, you know, I mean, he's got the type of money where he could just buy a house in Dallas and still keep the shit in LA for sure. But like, I feel like LA is is where he was trying to go to the entire time, right? Because that's the cool team. That's that's Magic Johnson, bro. That's Jerry West. That's like,
For sure. But what about winning a chip in 4 different franchises? There's some rare air there that I think he hasn't touched.
Yeah, but that's also like I mean, I guess I that is pretty badass. Four championships with
Miami,
4 different teams. That shows that you're a badass. But that also like
it shows you
like
win
to
it
me
old.
like
if you win his age.
I would rather have 4. Well, I don't know. Would you rather have 4 championships with the same team, or would you rather have 4 championships with 4 different teams?
Well, I don't think it's ever been done on 4 teams, so I think that one.
I mean that's
never.
That's
never,
hard. That's harder to do, right?
hard,
Because that shows that you are 100% a part
the
of
reason.
Yeah.
You're like no matter what. I mean, because there are guys.
But it
I'm
also
sure
shows
that
they can jump ship all the time, bro.
he already has that.
Yeah,
but
he got called out. Like,
oh, okay.
years ago.
But there have been players that have played as backup roles and have jumped like team to team and gathered championships. So there are players that have done that, but to be a catalyst on each one of those teams, a pillar on the team in the lineup, 4 championships, 4 different franchises.
Get your tinfoil hats out, folks,
That's,
because there's a new conspiracy theory
never
that
been
the
done.
Mavericks traded Luka Doncic on purpose to tank so that they can either get their casino resort approved or force the team to move to Vegas. So the long-term plan has always been for the Mavericks to turn their arena into a casino resort entertainment complex. Now, when Mark Cuban sold his majority shares to Miriam Adelson, the idea was that one day he would partner with Las Vegas Sands to create this entire gambling complex. However, according to this Texas lawyer and litigator, he says that despite the fact that the Mavericks are giving a ton of money to Texas lobbyists, they are not getting this bill approved to move them from Dallas to Austin to create the entertainment complex. So his theory is that their threat to move the team to Las Vegas is not really credible if they are a top team competing for an NBA championship. However, if they suck, there's a lot more of a realistic chance that the NBA would move cities. And what's the best way for your team to all of a sudden suck is to just give away a top 5 player and your franchise cornerstone. And talk all about his weight and his conditioning and his supermax and his defense and all that. This all always comes down to money. Now that theory, which doesn't even seem like that much of a conspiracy, makes a lot more sense than the alternative. There's a reason why no other NBA executives were contacted about potential trade options. Because they didn't want a good trade return. There's a reason why Danny Ainge, who was involved in the trade, didn't know that Luka was a part of it. Because they needed to make sure it went through despite being absolutely ridiculous so that they could intentionally suck. Because now the Texas government has to decide whether they want to lose the team to Vegas or approve this Austin complex. And if you're competing for a championship with Luka Doncic, it's a lot easier for them to call the Mavericks bluff to move him to another city. I don't know about you, but that entire theory seems pretty wild, but pretty true. Just like DraftKings' new promo code offer for Super Bowl 50.
I mean,
That makes sense, but I do think that there are inner workings on the billionaires' end. So if that is part of the billionaires' plan, it makes sense. But I do think there's some LA relevancy in this because I do think going to LA, they need to send a superstar where he's not going to complain. If you send him to any other city outside of maybe New York, maybe the Knicks.
I don't even think the Knicks are a good
Empty
comparison.
Couch. I had the couch on there. No guest tonight. Actually, we're down here in Newport on the Levee. People are walking out, movies and such. They've come into the store. We're kind of just talking about things. We haven't had much to talk about in the last few weeks because we were gonna have guests on after that winter snowstorm. Now it's starting to warm up.
It'll get cold again, bro.
Yeah.
My birthday's March 1st, and I used to throw these roller skating parties like every year. There were fire down there at the Florence Fun Dome, and March 1st, every single time, bro. It was like warm weather. March 1st, and then it just pops back up March 3rd. It's like I always know they're like, my birthday is going to be cold as shit for some reason. It's like right after you think spring's here, and then March 1st hits, and it's like, we got one more day of cold weather for you, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't get comfy.
man. But, you know.
Yeah, the weather was pretty bad. My pipes actually did freeze at that time.
But didn't burst. That's the best part.
They did not burst, which is great.
What happened this morning? I walked past the crib after you sent me those photos, and they were just doing like
There has been a leak for like 3 days.
No
It's
shit.
been pouring water out of our street, down the street. Not attached to my line. It's not attached to my line because my line's literally next to it, but I think it's my neighbor's line. I don't know if his water's been shut off or what, but it's been pouring water out over the curb for days. I mean, days on days. They put cones there over there's the actual like drain. They put cones over the pump thing. Unlike what are we on for Tuesday currently, on Saturday. It was like days. 4 days almost of time of it just pumping water. I don't know where the water was coming from, but it was obviously dirty once it got on the street, but I don't know if it's clean water or what it was, but they went in there, they like broke it apart, they drilled, they reconstructed it. They did a whole job. I mean, there's probably like 10 guys working on this morning. They blocked my car in, but I had nowhere to be, and I was actually doing work from home. I was doing some beyond the stage work, trying to get some bookings done, and working on my birthday show. It's another thing. My birthday show will be on July 25th this year, which I'm excited, at Madison Live. Both floors, multi-genre. Me and DJ Frodo are going to throw another bash, and it's going to be a good time. I'm excited about
Always a good time.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a great time. I got some of the headliners. I'm already communicating with them, and we're going to pack that house out, man. It's they always look forward to it.
As you do every year, bro. And I said before, Kalen was like fucking blown away, bro. Like we went to it's Madison Live, so it's next to it.
Madison Theater.
And we we walk in on the first floor, and it's packed. And Kalen was like, "All these people are here for Andrew?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, there might be more people upstairs. And we go upstairs, and there's just as many people up there, bro. And it brought a tear to my eye, dude, because like I'm looking around, it's like I barely know anybody here, but like everyone's here just for you. And it's like I see you running through the crowd, and then you just fucking catch me, like you just see me just for a split second. You're like, "Hey."
Yeah.
Stop you. You like gave me like a good 5-minute conversation. And it's like, that's what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I love you, buddy.
Love you. Yeah, man, it's a great time. We're very excited about what's this year, because we're gonna do more interviews. I'm really trying to be intentional with my each and every event that I get to put on, because I'm learning it's harder and harder to get successful events going. So anytime you have the chance, you gotta make them. No, I'm okay. Yeah, every time you get an opportunity to put on an event, you got to make the most of that time. Whether it's stage time to be an MC and talk about your event in real time, or you're giving artists a platform to showcase their art. Whether it's music, painting, any kind of visual art. So I've really learned that maximizing that time is where I'm gonna see, the most gratifying, really, because I get to see these artists working so hard at what they want to do, and if I can just pop them on stage for just a little bit and let them do their thing, all eyes on them, and that's what it's about. It's all eyes on them, and they are working diligently to just spread their art, and we're trying to spread some love. So Beyond the Stage is really a big part of that. My birthday show is gonna be a great time. That'll be we'll announce some headliners and announce some of the artists over the course of the next few months. But Beyond the Stage is just it's been a great time. We did our event at Radio Artifact on January 31st with Charlie John and Jordan Frank. Fantastic performances from both artists. Jordan had been on Beyond the Stage live have this shirt on here. He had performed back in October of 2023. This was a session. This is Beyond the Stage Sessions, which is another subsidiary under Beyond the Stage, the Beyond the Stage universe. We've been working really hard on the website, www.beyondthestage.live. Go there, check it out. We've been working very hard. John G, Mike Heffron, those guys are crushing it. I'm doing my thing. Just Andrew staying in his lane. But I am, playing that. I'm doing a lot of booking. I'm doing the interviewing. I'm staying busy with, just like, quote unquote CEO duties or whatever. That's my role, but like we're doing everything. We're making the content. We're creators. We're got technology involved. We got AI involved. We got everything involved. It is one of those things where we're really just artists creating for other artists, and we have sponsors. We have new sponsors wanting to get involved, which I'm very excited. Native is obviously a sponsor. Jackie Mayer Law is one of the sponsors. She was just down here on the levee with her new husband. And then Kelly's Cleaning Service, Threadworks, and Leaf and Limb on the levee. They're another sponsor. We just got a community going, and we're really excited about the future. So, I really encourage you to come out to one of our events, see what we're doing. We're about to start interviewing athletes, foodies, which is chefs, Beyond the Stage sports, athletes, foodies, which is chefs, and then Beyond the Stage business, which would be business owners and any kind of people in the industry as well. So really excited about what's to come. Really excited for all of it. It's a slow roll, but it's also going fast at the same time. And, we are very intentional, and we're going to keep going. And there's nothing that's going to, keep us from the goals, because we're going to go after them, man, at the end of the day. And I got an incredible team, the BTSU team, the Beyond the Stage Universe team. I'm excited to have Beyond the Stage, classes and stuff where we're teaching people media and teaching people how to do all the things, and we can have Beyond the Stage University. I think that'll be cool. But the merch store is going to happen soon. About to be launching BTSU merch, and it's all customizable, so people can put whatever artist that is a part of the universe on a shirt. They can have special, unique designs based on the artist and with their number, because each one's assigned a number. And it's going to be a great time. And we're going to do the metal signs. We're going to do anything that these artists want branded. We are going to do it. So merch store is happening now. So much to happen, and you're going to be able to get a lot of that stuff down here at Native. So. And we also have artist stuff that we're going to do, the featured artists. Speaking of one is Jordan Frank, which I just mentioned. And we're going to have his specific shirt here at Native on the levee, so you can pick that up as well. Talk a little bit about that, Jay.
Yeah, for sure, man. So once a month, we're going to pick 2 featured artists that we're going to print and house their clothes here in stores. So this month for February, it's Jordan Frank and Lantana. So we've got merch made for both of those guys that Native has designed. We're going to be housing it here. It'll be on the featured wall right before you get to the 7-Up door. You'll be able to purchase the tees here, and then we're going to split the profits 50-50 with the artist that month. So it's not just music artists. It's just not rappers. If you're an up-and-coming music artist or a clothing designer or somebody like Quasar that does art for a living and you want your art on clothes, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to tap into the local market with local artists, whether it be, using pencils or using a microphone. So for the full month, we're going to be selling all their stuff here. So you can pick up one of the Jordan Frank tees or a Lantana, the God, I Feel Like God Loved Me tee, which is super dope. So that'll be going through all through February. And then in March, we'll have 2 more artists that we're going to be putting on. So if you want to be a part of it, comment or DM one of us, and we'll try to set it up. There's only 24 spots available for the year. No, yeah, there's only 24 spots. And why can't I do the math right now? Yeah. Anyways, there's 2 spots per month, so there's only 20 spots left. So if you guys want to be a part of it, no cost to you guys, which is the best part. That's what we're trying to do here. Since we've got the artist markers to be able to create merch, print merch, sell merch, we want to be able to tie into the community where we can help everybody out. And then on the back end is just getting people to the store. So for like Jordan and Lantana, you know, if they can sell 1,000 shirts that month if they want to. We'll keep printing them as long as they're selling them. And then at the end of the month, you'll get a check for 50% of the profits. But our premise or idea is to get people into the store so they can see what we've been working on, because this store is one of a kind. I heard today, like, man, this store in LA would you guys would be on top of the world. And it's like, yeah, man, like I hear that all the time, and it never, I never not take it for granted, because I understand how cool the store is. We're just stuck in a place that right now doesn't have the income that other states and other cities have. So, we'll get there though. We're punching away at the clock. We're figuring out how to pivot and get eyeballs on us without having to dig into our own pockets. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And we're also thinking outside the box, but at the same time, we're also like doing, vintage vibes. So it's not like we're printing, on DTG. We're doing, we're not doing something where like, we talk about sublimation and different new trends and whatnot, but we're doing old school stuff really when it comes down to it. Like,
oh, yeah.
DTG is not something everyone does every single day. So a little bit of new school, a little bit of old school in one spot, and podcasting and giving places for people to have a voice. So the store brings a lot of unique perspectives. Obviously, you find the lab, you find the clues throughout the store to lead you there, which is a part of the big conversations that I've had when, seeing people come through the weekends when we do have the traction that we're kind of hoping for on a day-to-day, weekly basis. But seeing these people come in the store and telling me, a stranger to them, they have no relevant to what I and my involvement in this room. They have no idea. They're not having a conversation with me. They don't know anything. But they're telling me, because I'm the only person around, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Coolest thing.
Yeah.
They don't even say the store. They're not even.
Right.
They're not talking about a store. They're just like, this is the coolest thing. I don't know what. Who are you? I don't even care who you are. Random guy with a hat on, standing behind the register. This is the coolest thing, and I have to tell you. And I'm like, thanks. I created it. We're here. And it's like, and when you have that like moment of they realizing that you are a part of it, because there's only us, like we're not having a bunch of people coming in here and being like, oh, when's Jay going to be in, or when's Andrew going to be in? There's nothing like that. It's just us. We're experiencing the real-time accolades, but we're in the thick of things at the same time, so it's kind of a weird blend.
Right.
But the compliments are real.
Yeah.
These are people really experiencing it and getting into the room, because once they realize what's going on and they start opening drawers, that's the best part. Those are moments, because I can see them, and we have the cameras and everything. You're always on camera in the store, but seeing them dive in, that when the ones that really get it, I think that's the coolest thing. When they start looking at those drawers, and I'm like, dude's curious. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like he understood the assignment, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of those things, man. So, the store itself, it's like, damn, what was it? I was just sorry. Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah. Talking about the almost had it. Coolest store ever.
Coolest thing ever.
We do get that a lot, which is awesome, man. Oh, and the what you're saying about the store, how like we're just we're just a person working the store, and that's what happens all the time. Even with me, man, it's like, when I'm working the store, they're milling around, they're looking at everything, and they just think this is like one of many, right? And then they go in the lab, and they see the cartoon on the wall, but they hear the voice, and so when they come back, I'm like, welcome back, and they're like, whoa, wait, was that you on the TV? And it's like, yeah, that's wait, this is our store, and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, this isn't a franchise, dude, like. Yes. And that's the thing, that's the tipping point right there. That's like where they're just like, they come back out and then they relook at the entire store. They relook at what happened, because it's not, corporate didn't do this. Like,
no, you're seeing what corporate is when it comes down to
two broke kids with a dream did this, bro. Let's go.
Exactly. And like, they come out, and my voice isn't in the room, and that's not what they're coming out, and they're like, So is that guy ever here? And I'm like, because normally it's Saturday or Sunday, and you're with the family. And he's like, is that guy on that TV ever here? Or is he doesn't come around? And I'm like, nope, no, he's here. We'll be here Tuesday night. We'll do a podcast. So he does come in here, and I'm like, no, yeah, if you go to the QR, you can see us on the podcast or real time. And I was like, it's actually on the TV. So I always point at the TV, which is on the wall by the door. And they turn around, and I usually put certain podcasts, that one Mailman and Travion Williams podcast normally stay on the TV. So Travion's has both of us in the same shot. Mailman's is one at a time. Yeah. So just like you're looking at it right now. Different versions of the podcast. So they'll see me, and they'll be like, and all of a sudden they'll look back and they'll see you, and like and it all becomes so close to home to them in that little moment, because they realize the person that they're hearing on the voice, now they see him because they saw him in the video. The person standing right in front of them is the other person on there, and their mind is like, I can see the eyes light up like, oh my goodness. And then that's when the cameras come out. That's when things start to happen. They're like, oh, I have to get this moment. I'm here. And the reality sets in. And seeing that happen so many times, it's so funny, dude. Yeah. But I'm I've just not desensitized, but I just like, it happens so frequently. I feel like I wish I could just get it from my point of view on like those glasses, and you could see it. And it happens so frequently because people are experiencing the room, and they hear your voice, they hear everything. They like, is he here ever? I point out one TV, they turn around, they see you, and then they look next to you, and they see the person that's right in front of them. I'm sure Tyrell's is much different. Right. But they see me, and they're like, oh, this is mom and pops, if you will, type of thing, because the people who are behind the register are the ones on the TV. Why is that possible? Right. If you are so impressed by the store because you're assuming this is a big chain, just like you mentioned earlier, because
you got to tell them, bro. Tell them this, all this, the facade on the front of the building. That was my privacy fence, bro. I ripped that privacy fence apart, cut all the dog ears off the top, and mounted all that wood myself. Built that 7-Up machine myself.
But
this right here is probably the most impressive thing that I've ever done. Yeah. Well, the 7-Up machine's pretty dope, but being able to take
that bar, the piping,
all this piping around this podcast wasn't cut or modified for this stage. All of this was on the original store in 2019 that I did when I built the rack out for the wall. So like when I built that entire metal frame, there was two tiers. I think it was probably 5 rings or 5 poles on the top, 5 on the bottom, with hats on every one of them. So it was like a 6-inch thing that held a hat, so the hat would sit right over the top of the T-shirt.
It looked good at the time. Like,
Dude, it was
wall,
fire.
That wall was very industrial. Yeah.
I'm just blown away that I was able to take every single piece and somehow build a perfect fence around this stage.
Using those same components.
Using those exact same components. Like, think about that. Like, none of these were cut to be, when we built this stage out, we built it 9x12.
Yeah.
And
we shaped it around the couch. This couch right here. That
was the entire thing, bro. We did everything around the couch. Didn't think anything about these.
And then this right here.
And just crushed it,
solid, bro. Great job.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is this journey, and from the beginning to that and to where it's at now, and the fact that people think this is some kind of a franchise and it's some kind of, like some other remake from a major company, they're just throwing an idea. Like the fact that
Meow Wolf, bro. I hear Meow Wolf.
I hear Meow
all
Wolf
the
all the
time.
time. Me too.
That's
I've gotten,
crazy.
And I give them the like, yeah, we do get that comparison. But it isn't Meow Wolf. We hadn't even really discovered Meow Wolf until we'd already came up with the idea. Then Meow Wolf came into our lane. So this was like the originality on this is it isn't from another. It is it came from some kind of collection of thoughts, I'm sure, in our minds.
This whole thing is my bedroom when I was fucking 10 years old, bro. I'm telling you, like if I had photos of what my bedroom looked like in Chicago, I had black lights on the walls. I had a neon like wall phone, that clear one with the neon where when somebody called it flash.
Yeah.
I would print out just paper that says like Snoop Dogg was up, and like I would just like glue them to the wall and just use highlighters, so it was all black light and all lit up and shit. And even when I was young, bro, I built this little contraption where if somebody opened my door to my bedroom, I was probably 8 years old, like no joke. If you open the door to my bedroom, it pulled a string. The string went from the door handle to a little eyelet hook that I put in there, and then it went underneath 2 baseballs that were mounted to the wall. I had like this little plaque that held 2 baseball bats and then 2 balls on top. So the string went under the 2 balls, and then it went to another eyelet, and then it went to a light that was hanging right above my bed. And how I turned the light on was I would just pull the cord on it. So I had everything set up where if somebody opened my door, the baseballs would fall off onto the floor, which had like some like little piece of metal that it would ding, and then the wire itself would turn my light on, bro. And I was like 8 years old when I built this thing.
It's like Home Alone.
Yeah, it was like if somebody was walking in my room, I wanted lights on right away. So I built that shit when I was a kid. And it like this store today, bro, is just a magnified version of that bedroom.
Yeah, it looks just like Coda.
Yeah,
music venue, our venue, it looks literally the same like vibe. Only thing we had at Coda that was a little different was our wall piece had Jimi Hendrix, and there was an astronaut and stars, and
I remember that. Yeah,
bro, it was great. And we had black lights. We had guitars with the black lights with paint dripping down them. Dude, it's just a culmination of so many things going over the years. In the shop local, like all the premises that we believe in are all over the walls, and I think that's really something to really highlight in this time. Still think something needs to be on the TV.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, that's what this. We're if you want to be a guest on here, honestly, we've been doing some booking for the a lot of awesome artists that are coming up, and a lot of different people that are going to make their way on that couch. But if you want to, you just go to our Instagram, send us a message if you got something that you want to promote, events, artistry. Maybe your restaurant is actually opening and you're taking over one of the cool new spots that are becoming available because of unfortunate circumstances in a previous spot. Send us a message on Instagram at @thenativebrand_ and show us what's up. We'll have you on this podcast. And yeah, we're ready to see what this summer has to offer with some of these awesome businesses that are going to want to podcast for sure. So
Yeah, man. All right. So we're lagging on Facebook as well, bro. All right, we're getting a hold of the internet company tomorrow. We're gonna get this fixed. Dude.
Sure. That's cool.
Do you know who that is? The King and the Sting?
I do not.
So we're gonna have to keep this on the podcast. This is King and the Sting for everyone that doesn't know. Theo Vaughn and Brendan Schaub. So they had a podcast called The King and the Sting, and they're two like world-renowned. Well, Theo is at least a comedian. But I made this specifically for those guys for their podcast. I made one for them and one for me, and they kept it on their podcast. They even gave us a shout out, and it was sitting on the desk the entire time, bro. So every time they used a beer, it was with our King of the Sting. And now I'm gonna leave it right here. This is gonna be ours as long as nobody steals it.
Yeah, those people don't touch the podcast. It seems off limits, and there's cameras everywhere. So
Yeah.
but a lot of times people do come in and they try to.
Robbie C in the building.
Hey, yeah. They come in and they walk on. The kids find their way onto the stage.
Quick.
Right through these bars that we were just speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last podcast before the Super Bowl. Do you have a Super Bowl prediction before we close it out here tonight?
Yeah. Eagles by 60.
Eagles by 60. So that means Saquon Barkley has like 300 yards.
Realistically, man, I think obviously the refs are going to keep it a close game. It's to the point now where even NFL players, bro, even T.O. was just on a podcast the other day going, this wasn't like it when I played. Like, I can physically see them maneuvering the game to where they want. And he's like, I've played the game a long time. I've seen everything going on, and I see what's happening right now. And these little penalties that are getting called for the Chiefs, he's like that. Those are momentum stoppers. He's like, you know what I mean? Like if third down, you fucking tackle Mahomes or incomplete pass, but then they redo the down because nobody heard the whistle.
Right. Yeah, because the whistle didn't happen.
Yeah, and it's like, so you get another fifth down again. Like, how many times are you going to get a fifth down in one season, bro?
Enough to get a victory.
Yeah. So, it's going to – you just can't – just like the UFC, bro. Even Dana White says don't leave it up to the ref. Don't leave it up to the refs, the judges.
But the refs can insert themselves.
That's his
themselves
company. That's his company, bro. And he's like, don't leave it to the judges.
Right. But in the NFL, the refs can literally insert themselves by calling holding every play.
Oh, 100%.
So there's nothing if you can even control if the refs do it or not because they can insert themselves. Where something like UFC, it's a little harder to really do that. You do need to dominate and win without the refs getting involved. And yeah, in football, maybe you can get ahead and the refs' decisions don't really matter. But you know what? They can call a pass interference on just like a grab of a small pinky on a jersey, and all of a sudden you're like, you think that's a terrible call, but there is no repercussions for the refs at all. The NFL has protected them. The NFL blatantly protects their refs.
Yeah.
For those kind of exact reasons.
Let me ask you, when the Chiefs were, it was maybe like 3 weeks ago, the spread for the game was 9.5, right? And they were up by 11, and they got that 2-point safety. You saw like when the quarterback ran into the end zone and just ran out of bounds for like a 2-point safety.
Yeah, gives the ball back.
Right,
And 2 points.
and it also covered the spread.